For many girls who enter the contest, it's part of the American dream. It was never mine. I walked into a model agency one cold day and an agent came out and said to me, "I want you to enter a beauty contest." I said, "No, never, never, never. I'll lose. How humiliating." I filled out the application blank. Hobbies, measurements, blah, blah, blah. I received a letter. "Congratulations, you've been accepted into the Miss Illinois Universe contest." Now what do? I'm stuck. So I called up the lady running it and I said, "I'm terribly sorry. I can't do this. I don't have the money." She calls back 2 days later. "We found you a sponsor. It's a lumber company." I went as a lumberjack. Hiking boots, suspenders, flannel shirt. I carried an axe. You come out, you do your pirouettes. I'm thinking, this will soon be over. I don't have a prayer. They called my name. I was the winner. Ammonite Miss Illinois. All I could do was laugh. Here I am, 22 years old, standing up there in this borrowed evening gown, thinking, what am I doing here? This is like Tom Sawyer becomes an altar boy. I was considered old for a beauty queen, which is a little horrifying when you're only 22. That's very much part of the beauty queen syndrome. Young, unthinking, untouched human being. They took me into this room right away to sign the Miss Illinois Universe contract. Miss Illinois Incorporated is the full name of the company. They were owned by Kaiser and Roth, later bought out by Gulf and Western. Big business. So I'm sipping my champagne, reading over this contract. "Oh, you don't have to read it over." I never sign anything I don't read. So they're all waiting to take photographs and I'm sitting there reading over this long document. Then the phone rang. It was the guy from the Chicago paper. He said to me, "Tell me, is it Miss or Ms.?" I said, "It's Ms." He said, "You're kidding." I said, "No, I'm not. I figured I was a feminist before I was a beauty queen. Why should I stop now?" I won the Miss USA contest. Yeah, I started to laugh. It was on national television. They tell me I'm the only beauty queen in history who didn't cry when she won. I said to Bob Barker, the host, "You're kidding me." He said, "No, I'm not kidding you." The press releases called it the American dream. There she is, Miss America, your ideal. Oh, not my ideal, kid. From the day I won Miss USA till the day I went to Miss Universe, 2 months later, I had a day and a half off. Parades, shopping centers, snipping ribbons, public speaking and things. They asked me if I wanted a ghostwriter. I said, heck no, I know how to talk. I wrote my own speeches. One of the big execs from General Motors asked me to do a speech in Washington, D.C. about the consumer and the energy crisis. So I stood up there and I said, the reason why we have a crisis is because we are industrially and personally pigs. And if we don't wake up to what we're doing to our air and water, we're going to have a dearth, not just a crisis. They weren't pleased. Oh, and when it came out in the papers that I said Nixon was a crook, that he should resign, oh dear, that fur flew. They got very upset. I got an invitation to the White House. I figured they're either going to take me to the basement and beat me with a rubber hose, or they're going to offer me a cabinet position. I was dying to bring in a tape recorder, but I figured if you mention the word Sony in the Nixon White House, cardiac arrest. When one of them got me alone in his office, he started going on about how all the media is liberal. I said, Pentagon Papers, Agnew, blacklisting. He changed the subject. That final evening. They make this announcement over the PA system. Time for the old queen's walk. I'm 23 years old and I'm now an old queen. And they have this idiot farewell speech playing over the airwaves as I walk down the aisle. So you walk down there, you sit on the throne for about 30 seconds, and they announce the new one. You place the crown on her head, and that's it. You're out. I've seen photographers shove the girl who had just given up her reign 30 seconds before. Physically shove her. was very difficult for girls who were terrified of that ending. All of a sudden, you're out. Several times during my year as What's-Her-Face, I had seen this movie called The Sting. In the movie, the characters use this gesture, which means the con is on. So, in my lasting, fleeting moments as Miss USA, I walked down the aisle, I stood by the throne, I looked right into the camera. The next day, the pageant people kept telling everyone that I hadn't done it, and of course I kept telling everyone that I had. I simply meant the con is on.